In this today's session, we are going to explore unhealthy sleeping patterns, the reasons why our sleep gets disrupted, its impact on the body, its connection with the mental health, what are also healthy sleep patterns, the tips to improve sleep patterns, benefits of having a good sleep, and lastly, you shall have an opportunity to get the experts' insights through our Q&A session. So we are delighted to present Dr. Sherin with us today. She's going to guide us through this important discussion. Over to you, Dr. Sherin.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Ms. Shika Jain, for that wonderful and warm introduction. And I'm quite excited to share my knowledge with the participants today. I see around 27 of them, and I hope whatever I have been practicing as a mental health expert would be of benefit to the participants who are there today online. So let me just begin by sharing my screen. Um, Okay, hope it is visible and clear.
Yeah, it is, Dr. Sherin.
All right, okay. So let's begin. So, as rightly put, sleep and mental health is today's topic. I know it's afternoon, and I'm sure you had a yummy lunch or packed food from home. And I'm not having any intention to put you to sleep with my talk, but I just want you to be equally participating, and it will be more rather of an exchange, because I'm not going to talk about rocket science. You all know what sleep is, and probably how it's connected to mental health might be a new piece of information. Rest, we've been sleeping ever since we were born. So let's begin by exploring a little more further about the link or the connection between what is sleep and what is healthy sleep, and what's the benefit of having healthy sleep, and how does it benefit our mental health. Okay, so usually we talk about healthy lifestyles. Okay, and under healthy lifestyles, something which we focus on saying is eat healthy, sleep well, eat, drink well, or have good healthy relationships. So one of the core element of living healthy is maintaining a healthy sleep pattern. So for that, we need to know what is healthy sleep pattern. Okay, so we can talk about sleep from our own area of understanding, because we all had been advised to sleep, ever since we failed to sleep. Like as a baby, we used to sleep forever, but then our parents had to set a pattern of sleeping, like this is your waking up time, or this is your bedtime, and then as age advanced, nobody had to tell us. We set our own pattern. So before we begin, if you have a pen and paper, just write down what is your current sleep pattern. Okay, like how many hours of sleep on a regular basis on weekdays. Do not write about the weekends. And on weekdays, what is your normal pattern of sleep? How many hours of sleep do you get? Can you just make a note of it? Nobody is going to judge you. It's just your personal entry. Okay. I hope you have all written down your numbers. Okay. And now write down how many hours do you get on a weekend? Like, do you have habit of binge sleeping, or no sleeping? What do you do on weekends? Okay. So you have your a number of hours written down. So healthy sleep pattern is a sleep schedule or a sleep routine that we need to maintain. Okay, on when we say healthy, we need to maintain. It's like there's no compromise in it. We need to get that many hours of sleep. So how many hours of sleep is recommended? I'm sure the audience sitting here are in the age group where we are supposed to get 7 to 8 to 9 hours of undisturbed sleep. Okay, now you might ask yourself, am I sleeping? Okay, and you may say, yes, I'm sleeping, but are you getting undisturbed sleep of 7 hours? Okay, that's important. Now the third thing that you need to keep in mind is, are you sleeping in an environment where there is darkness? Very important to realize that oftentimes we sleep in office, or we have our screen lights on, we have all other lights on, and then we say we are sleeping. Okay, it's very important that darkness is stimulated or simulated, so that it triggers our body to make more melatonin. Now I want you to remember this word melatonin, till we go to the last part of this seminar. Okay, so melatonin, which signals the body to sleep. That's important. It should be naturally released from our body. That will make us fall asleep. Okay, which means not depending on sleeping pills, not depending on any other external factors to put us to sleep. Our body should be able to release melatonin, which means for melatonin to be released, darkness is required. Okay, so this will make you feel tired so you can sleep peacefully. So with this we begin understanding, okay, this is healthy sleep pattern. Now let's explore more. Okay, so this I just came across an hour ago. I thought it's something interesting. Okay, if your mattress could talk, what would it say about your sleep habits? Okay, so you can just choose out of these four. If your mattress could talk, what would it say about your sleep habits? You don't spend enough time in bed. Okay, you are a deep sleeper. You toss and turn a lot, or none of the above. Okay, so in which category do you fall into? Okay, that's where you need to really begin saying that, okay, I'm really having an unhealthy sleep pattern. Okay, or well, I'm having a good sleep pattern. Okay, so let's begin by understanding what is melatonin and good sleep. I told you we have to remember this word melatonin. Now, melatonin is a hormone that is produced by the pineal gland. It's a very small, tiny gland, pea-sized gland in our brain, okay, which is primarily, its function is to respond to darkness, okay. It helps signal our body that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. Think of it as your body's natural timekeeper, guiding you into a restful state. Okay. Which means if your body has to get the signal, okay, now it's, day is over. Now your body is tired. It needs rest. If it has to get that signal, you need to induce darkness in your room. Okay. That means we have to switch off lights, which include screen lights. Okay. Mobile or anything external that you keep for decoration in your room, all those lights should be off. And it will naturally give the signal to your body saying, please wind down, it's time to rest. Okay, so your body has got the signal naturally to start the circadian rhythm. So artificial light and circadian rhythm, how is it connected? Okay, now if you look at the daytime exposure, now you're all in the office, you have a lot of artificial lights around you. It's daytime and artificial light exposure. Okay, now what happens is light suppresses melatonin production. Any sort of light, okay, it suppresses melatonin production, and the body thinks it is not time to sleep. That's why you are awake or alert, when you're in the office, there's a lot of light around, you're supposed to stay awake because melatonin has not been released to say, go to sleep. Okay, now what we do on a regular basis is our eyes are exposed to a lot of natural or artificial light throughout the day, right? So we are like this, like owls, even in the night we are, maintaining that in the night time. We want the laptops around, we want the screen light, we're so habituated to having light. Okay, now we need to remember that our body responds naturally to darkness. Okay, so we need to let nature work its it's a part in our body. Okay, and so melatonin levels will quickly rise if you help prepare your body to sleep. That means you have to switch off the lights, darkness. And darkness will trigger the release of melatonin. I hope you've got the contrast between how light suppresses melatonin release and how darkness increases melatonin release. I hope it's clear. Okay. Now, what are some of the
Dr. Sherin, you've gone on mute.
how about now?
Yeah, this is better.
Yeah. So if you look at your, work life balance, probably the shift work or consumption of alcohol, caffeine, jet lag, or time change suddenly, and blue light. Okay, these are some of the factors which we need to really clean from our lifestyle. Okay, because it will cause melatonin deficiency, and we won't realize it because we are like, we say we are workaholics. I love the continuing work at home. I want to finish, then only I'll sleep. All this can create melatonin deficiency over time. It's not happening on just one day. If you work extra, it doesn't happen that way. If you maintain an unhealthy sleep pattern, this is what is going to happen. Okay, um, moving on. I'm not able to move the screen. Okay. Now, what is mental health? Now, we're talking about a lot about sleep. Okay. What is mental health? Can you all write down what is your understanding about mental health? Or if you could just unmute and tell me what do you mean by mental health? Anyone from the participants?
I don't think they'll be able to unmute. Everybody, you can put that in the chat.
Okay, let me see. You can all give your answers in the chat. I would love to just stress free. Okay, that is mental health. Good. Devapa, thank you. Others? Free mind, clarity. Okay, what else? Person's emotional, psychological, and social well being. Able to function with consistency, calmness, free from monkey mind. Mental health is emotional regulation, and you're not able to assert ourselves with stress, mentally present. Amazing, emotional well being. Okay, I think Shika, we can wind up the seminar because they all know what is mental health. No overthinking. Okay, I'm so glad you have a wonderful understanding and equally participating audience. Okay, thank you so much. Please keep it coming. Keep your. I'm so happy that you're all awake. Yeah, stress free. Okay, so I'm going to give you a small, basic understanding of what mental health is. Okay, so mental health. Now, if I say I have good mental health, that is opposite is poor mental health. Okay, so we all have mental health just as we have physical health. We all have mental health. Okay, so health is equal to physical health plus mental health. Okay, if I have a fit body but not a fit mind, I'm not healthy. I have a healthy mind but not a fit body, still I'm not healthy. So health is, I'm in good health if both my physical and mental health is in balance. Now, definition of mental health is, if I have the capacity, so you can just read it for yourself. You can just say, if I have the capacity to live a full productive life, as well as I have the flexibility to deal with up and down. Okay, I am living a productive life, but a storm comes, you're down, you're not able to get up. Okay, bounce back. So you should have the flexibility to deal with both the ups and downs that life throws at you. Okay, now if I have to just stress on how it functions for children and young people, so I want to categorize you all into the young people category also, because they say 40 is the new 20. Okay, so let's look at ourselves as young people and say, if I have the capacity to continue to learn, if I have the capacity to enjoy friendships, if I have the capacity to meet challenges, and if I have the capacity to develop talents and capabilities, I'm mentally healthy. Okay, so I have made the definition of mental health very simple. This is from a source of Young Minds. I love this definition because oftentimes we, just complicate the understanding of mental health. Okay, so mental health is what we are required to do on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so moving on. Uh, okay. Now, just like we go for a daily checkup, annual or biannual, checkup on our blood sugar, blood pressure, blood cholesterol. That is our physical health. Those are the markers of our physical health. Am I doing well? Am I at the verge of pre-diabetes, or am I becoming hypertensive, or do I have cholesterol? We go for an annual checkup, or we recommend it at least from the age of 29. Now it's recommended that you go for a biannual checkup. Okay, so similarly, we need to also go for a annual or a biannual mental health checkup. Okay. Now, what do you check for mental health? Okay, just like BP, cholesterol, and sugar, you have to check how is your stress level, how is your anxiety level, how is your depression level. That means SAD, sad. Are you sad? Go for a checkup. Check your mental health status. Okay, am I having a balanced way of looking at stress? Am I becoming too anxious over time, or am I leaning towards depression? So it's like stress leads to anxiety, anxiety leads to depression. That's how it goes. Okay, so you need to keep this in mind when you say, what is my mental health? So mental health, these are the markers. Okay, so now we're going to understand in detail about what is the effect of an unhealthy sleeping pattern. Okay, so first we're going to look at how it affects our mind. Okay, so we say cognitive. Okay, that's where our higher functions are, my ability to, that's very often, we tap here while thinking, because this is where our frontal lobe is, we tap. Okay, we consciously or we've got use we are activating it. This is where our thinking happens, our decision making happens, higher functions. Okay, so we're going to look at how cognitively, if you have an unhealthy sleep pattern, what is it going to do to your day-to-day functions as a working employee, or you have to contribute to your organization, but cognitively what is happening to you if you have an unhealthy sleep pattern. So you can just analyze for yourself, where do you stand. Are you experiencing decrease in attention span? Are you experiencing decrease in your memory capacity? Are you experiencing decreased function in your problem solving skills? Okay, before you were smarter, but right now you're not able to even look at the problem, forget analyzing, you're not able to even face the problem. Or are you like really finding it difficult to stay attentive for a longer period of time? Are you just dozing off, you're not able to stay attentive, or you just were not able to remember, lot of forgetfulness. Okay, so probably it could be due to the unhealthy sleeping pattern that is affecting you cognitively. Okay, now moving on to understanding how poor sleep can impact our cognitive function. Now everything has a short term effect and a long term effect, please remember that. Okay, so short term effect is effect of sleep deprivation, like you did not sleep for 1 week, immediately you will start experiencing difficulty in concentrating. Okay, you might have a decline in mood. Your family members or your colleagues may notice, okay, she's having mood swings, or he is just so moody nowadays. Okay, impaired memory, you're not able to remember that you just did something a while ago, or visible signs of fatigue. Okay, while commuting to work you're sleeping, on the desk you're sleeping, very tired. Okay, but long time, what is the impact? That is something which we should be really alert about, is we are showing poor work performance over time. It need not be due to lack of skills, it need not be due to your talent. It may be probably directly proportionate to the impact that your cognitive functions are having due to poor or unhealthy sleeping patterns. And cognitive decline over time, you are a poor performer. Okay, not just at your office but also at your home. Okay, and finally you reach a level of heightened risk of dementia, which is a clinical condition where people are diagnosed with forgetfulness over time, not able to remember, memory problems. Okay, dementia. So short term problems and long term problems you need to keep in mind, because both are important when you look at unhealthy sleeping patterns. Okay, now let's look at how it impacts your home, your family, your marriage. If you're a parent, how does it impact your parenting? Okay, so please remember that less sleep will always contribute to how you feel, how you perceive the emotions. Okay, so even if your partner might be saying something good, you are in such a bad mood, you're not able to perceive it in the right way, and argument may begin at home, with your family members, if you're married, with your spouse. And then as a parent you might yell out at your children, and vice versa, the children gets irritated and they misbehave or disobey, and the cycle goes on and on. Okay, so we can blame it on not practicing healthy sleep patterns as a family. Okay, so what happens along with our friends? Okay, for those who are unmarried and you're not spending much time with your family, but you have a lot of friends, but you can notice over time that because of the lack of sleep or the loss of sleep that you're experiencing, it makes you so irritated. You want to have more of social distance. Okay, before you were that charming, friendly person, now people are noticing that you are actually maintaining a social distance. Okay, and that in turn makes you feel lonely. Okay, but you're not realizing it's because you're so tired, you're not able to contribute enough energy. When you're in a social setting, you would better be under the blanket and take a break off, than spend time with your good friends. Okay, so this is what happens even with our social life. Okay, now personal skills. Okay, here is something which is very important to remember, that when we get enough rest, okay, we are more creative. Okay, when we have enough rest, we have a lot of time in our plate to manage other things. Okay, so creativity and time management skills are also affected. That means those are our personal skills, right? How we manage time, or how we the creativity box is ignited, that's very personal to us. So lack of sleep or loss of sleep can have a direct effect on our creative thought process. You are not getting newer ideas, or you're not able to contribute something innovative to your team. Okay, you're stuck with the same old idea. You're not able to think out of the box. Okay, so then you better analyze how your sleep pattern is. Okay, and the number two that I mentioned is time management. If you have loss of sleep, you're able to focus. That means there is lack of focus, and you're not able to focus at the right time at the right things, and then there's difficulty to focus throughout the day. Okay, so that flow of thought is lost, or we say the flow is lost, because we're not able to focus one thing at a time. We have a lot of things coming because we're not able to manage time, because everything is piling up. Okay, now coming back to mental health, so what we just covered is how what is the impact of unhealthy sleep pattern on our cognitive. Okay, how does it impact short term and long term, and how does it impact our home, our family, marriage, and parenting, and how does our interaction with friends change over time due to lack of sleep, and a direct impact on our personal skills with regard to creativity and time management. Okay, now we move on to a little more deeper exploration into what is mental health per se. Okay, we understood that it's the ability to be flexible towards ups and downs of our life. Now, if you were to ask me what is mental health, can you pinpoint like physical health? Okay, it has muscles, bones, and brain and organs. What is mental health? How do you pinpoint what is mental health? So basically, three things you need to remember. That is emotions. Okay, so how I feel. Okay, emotions. How I think, that is my thoughts. How I behave, or how do I face the situation. Okay, we are a living organism, right? When you're put in an environment, we have to interact with our environment. Okay, so how I behave toward inside my environment is my behavior. So I can look at your, I can listen to your feelings, I can listen to your thoughts, I can see how you're behaving and tell that you're having a experience in good mental health or a poor mental health. Okay, that's why people say psychiatrists and psychologists can read minds. It's not read minds. What you tell us through what you feel, how you think. That's how we read, because we kind of understand. Okay, this is unhealthy thoughts. This is unhealthy emotions. Okay, so over time, okay, this is the consistent behavior. So you're experiencing poor mental health. Okay, it's time to do something about it. So I hope that is clear about what is mental health. So emotions. Now, loss of sleep can directly, impact the way we feel. Okay, even though there's a wonderful meal in front of us, we're not able to enjoy because you're just experiencing a bad mood. Okay, it's not because of the Bangalore weather or maybe the traffic. It might be because of the lack of sleep that you're experiencing. You're not able to enjoy life. Okay, and that's regard to emotions. Now, thoughts. Now, when you're not able to generate good, healthy, and positive thoughts, your problem solving skills are affected. Your decision making, sometimes we make the wrong decisions because of the bad thoughts that we are carrying over time. We're not able to cleanse our thoughts, because we're not able to regenerate positive thoughts to cancel the negative thoughts. Okay, so thoughts also are like a garbage that is collecting with a lot of negative thoughts. Okay, now behavior. Now what you would notice is somebody who is sleep deprived is not going to be always experiencing like fatigue. Sometimes they experience impulsivity, as though you're high on drugs, or hyperactivity. Okay, that's because your behavior is getting affected, because you're not really able to function with the normal span and time given to you, because you are just becoming more stressed and stretched, and the behavior is coming out as impulsivity and hyperactivity, which can lead to rash behavior, or in very unhealthy choices. We make the wrong statements to the wrong person, finished. Okay, so that is our behavior, and you have to check whether it's consistent. Is your behavior becoming worse and worse? You need to check your sleep pattern. Okay, now, what is impact of poor sleep on our mental health? I've been talking about mental health, I've been talking about sleep from quite some time. Now, what is the connection basically? Okay, so here a negative feedback loop can worsen sleep and mental health. So what is the negative feedback? Okay, so let's look at it. If I carry stress and worry, it could be from my family, it could be due to my financial choices that I've made, it could be due to my relationships. Okay, if I'm carrying it over time, it will decline your mental health. Now what happens is, you're having a bad time with your partner, or with your colleague, or with something related to your neighborhood. Over time, it's declining your mental health. You do have no peace of mind. And what what does it do to your sleep? It keeps you awake. You'll be thinking about it. Now, what do I reply? How do I take revenge? How do I give back? You'll be thinking all negative thoughts come. It keeps you awake at night. And we say, I have not slept the whole night. Insomnia starts. Okay, you're awake the whole night thinking about it. And hence the next night, again you repeat it because you have now disturbed the circadian rhythm. You was awake. So next day you don't get enough sleep again, or you are like not able to even compensate because you have only 7 hours of sleep. You have to report to the office. Okay, you may not have the luxury to say, okay, because I didn't sleep yesterday, I'm going to make it over tonight. So insomnia and pursuit. Now what happens? You don't sleep, you go to office, what happens? You start feeling fatigue. Now, because you had an experience of fatigue, you were not able to focus at your work, and then now you're worried because your boss is shouting at you, and then the cycle repeats. Okay, so there was only one stress factor, a bad relationship with your, one of your family member relative, but then that has declined your mental health. Now it has piled up with poor sleep. Now that's shown some physical signs. It has, disturbed the way you work, and now it's piling up. So we have to break this negative feedback loop. Okay, you cannot just let it go like a whirlpool again and again. You have to like stop the feedback loop from happening. So that's where I'm going to slowly lead you into in today's session is how you can break the feedback loop. Okay, with whatever resources you have. You don't have to spend money, you don't have to invest anywhere, you just have to make a healthy choice from today onwards. Okay, so are you ready? Can I get a thumbs up or a yes?
Ready, we have from Nishka.
Yes, ready. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So, what is the benefit if we have good sleep pattern? Okay, direct impact on our family because that's where we spend a lot of time. Okay, or we have to interact because they are our immediate support system or the only support system. So, good sleep will reduce irritation with our family members. That means you have more space for understanding others than complaining about them. You have lesser arguments and fights with your family. That brings in a lot of de-stressing moments. Okay, with friends, good sleep makes you more empathetic rather than always being that irritated friend who has only list of complaints. You become more empathetic. Oh, she responded like this because she was going through something like this, and you have enough energy to spend time with friends. That's the best therapy. Okay, and instead of being tired always, what happens is usually we give lame excuses. Okay, I'm not able to participate because you have lost the connect with your friends due to lack of sleep probably, or due to bad healthy choices, and then you're not able to. We are all humans, nobody's perfect. You can go back to your friends and say, I had a bad way of looking at my. It's time to always reconnect, never disconnect with your friends. Okay, so I'm going to like let you explore 7 tips, okay, to improve and develop your healthy sleeping pattern. You can pick any of these 7, okay, but I would love if you choose all the 7. Okay, so I wish you just make few corrections here and there in all the 7 areas that I'm going to highlight. Okay, so the first area that you need to really focus on is our favorite thing, our meals. Okay, so avoid large fatty meals right before sleeping. That's the biggest mistake that we do. Okay, in the form of junk food, Swiggy, Zomato, we try to order large and fatty meals right before going to sleep. Avoid that. Okay, avoid any kind of caffeine or soda products before you go to sleep because that has a direct impact on how even our melatonin is released. Okay, tips for eating before bed. Wait at least 2 to 3 hours before your last meal before you hit bed. That means you need to take dinner a little early before you, not like eat dinner and then the next place that you halt is your bed. Okay, like give it a 2 to 3 hours. So that means cook a early dinner, or do something that you are able to not spend a lot of time in kitchen but have a healthy meal. Try eating food that will enhance the production of food that will release melatonin. Okay, I'll come to that again later. Avoid any heartburn kind of triggers. Avoid acidic food or something with a lot of masala and spicy. Avoid foods that will undermine your sleep, like again any kinds of alcoholic products, caffeine, soda products. Avoid beverages. Okay, you don't want to be like counting sheep the whole night. Don't drink caffeine before you go to bed. Okay, So these are some of the best foods that you can promote that can promote your sleep. Okay, cherries or berries that you can get locally that are found in the market, almonds, okay, honey, flax, bananas. You can explore more in the internet, find what suits your thali, okay, and pick up what is dear to you, what is more closer to your tongue, taste buds. Okay, worst foods that will promote sleep is alcohol, spicy food, fatty food, coffee, and dark chocolate. Okay, sometimes we, just take dark chocolate for the sake of having a chocolate, but please avoid dark chocolate before you go to because it, cocoa keeps you awake. Okay, so you can just keep all these tips in mind when you choose food for dinner. Okay. Now, foods that are rich in melatonin, I've been trying to explore where we can look into our Indian, choices. Okay, so nuts, milk, okay, eggs, fish, for are foods rich in melatonin, and the other ones which are which you can like easily pick up is bananas, green leafy spinach especially, and fresh organic tomatoes. You can chop it into salads and use it. Okay, and always nibble a half of dozen organic almonds before dinner. Okay, that's a healthy habit that you can begin. Okay, so these are foods that are rich in melatonin. Now there are a lot of supplements available in the market in the form of melatonin. Okay, please try these natural things before you go and get a prescription saying I am having experiencing lack of sleep. First try changing the way you are leading your lifestyle. Okay, so let's begin from there. Okay, and number two tip is keep your body active. Okay, body movements, a lot of body movements, whatever you can think of your favorite sport or your favorite way to move your body, dance or aerobics, yoga. Okay, stay physically active during the day so that you can fall asleep more easy. Okay, I think that's what the schools do for the toddlers and the up to those who are in 10 years old. They keep them so active throughout the day that they fall asleep. Okay, that's like a very simple mantra which we can apply even though we have left school. Okay, you can do stay active. Okay, now number three, very difficult. We are in an era where we cannot live without it. Turn off electronics. Try not to use your mobile phones, watch TV, use your computer, Netflix, vagera, vagera. Okay, at least an hour before sleeping. Instead, a healthy choice would be try reading. Okay, you have some, gyan also going in, and plus you get tired and you sleep off. But what happens with the other things? It the light melatonin is not going to be released. Okay, there's a lot of light and noise. Okay, so avoid turn off electronics 1 hour at least before you go to sleep. Okay, and why do gadgets keep you awake? I have already informed you what melatonin requires, right? So when you keep the screen lights on, the blue light emitted by the screens will inhibit the production of melatonin, which controls your circadian rhythm. Okay, and it keeps your brain active as though you have to you'll be called for an emergency duty. You keep your brain active, you don't have to do that. Okay, technology keeps your mind engaged and tricks your brain into thinking and it needs to stay awake. It fools your brain. So keep the gadget away. Okay, tell your gadget I'll meet you tomorrow morning. Okay, let it also rest. Also, gadget interrupts your sleep. Any text, any email, any calendar, set healthy boundaries. Tell your loved ones I'm not available after 10 p.m. unless it's an emergency. Tell your friends I'll stop texting at so and so time. Please don't feel bad. Set healthy boundaries. Okay? Which can wake you up and it can just disrupt the quality of sleep that you were enjoying. Okay? So please maintain a good circadian rhythm. We have 24 hours as our biological clock, tick tock, but there is a certain time for melatonin to be released. Okay, so if you are a person who have to like really sleep during the day because of your shift, make sure you set your room in such a way that darkness creeps in and not there's light. Okay, so you can set, so during the night time melatonin levels should go up and during daytime melatonin levels should come down, then only we can be alert at work. Okay, moving on, fourth, which sometimes we ignore, okay, be comfortable what you're wearing when you're going to bed. Okay, choose materials that are, soft and smooth, pillow cushion covers which are, silky or, you can also use nice body lotions. You can just pamper yourself like a baby. Just let it be very comfortable for you to go to sleep like a baby. Okay. And have you seen babies, they undergo a small massage and then they're fast asleep. Okay. You can just apply some body lotions, massage your hands and feet, your face. Okay. And bedroom should be quiet, dark, and relaxing. Okay. And there should be enough air. There should be breathable clothes when you're wearing, not something very tight. Okay. These are very important factors so that you feel restful when you are going to bed and when you wake up. Okay. Next, be consistent. Okay. I think you need to remember this small poem which you learned in school. If you could just say it aloud wherever you are sitting. Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. We learned this in school, but we hardly use it now. Okay. So we have to go to bed early. We have to wake up early. Okay. Many of us, miss out the early things that nature has to offer, the early sunrise or the fresh air. Okay. So bedtime and wake up time every day, same time. Okay, help your brain, help your body to feel relaxed instead of just overstressing your body. Okay, just let it rest. Okay, so remember this always: early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. Health is wealth. Okay. Sixth tip, reduce your stress. Okay. That doesn't mean there's a real, somebody said, my doctor advised me to keep the stress out of the house. So the wife, push dumps the husband out, the children out, and she leaves the stress feeling. So doesn't mean, you have to reduce stress by, understanding where is the stress coming from. Is it from my husband? Is it from my wife? Is it from my parents? You need to really target and understand so that you can solve it and then move on by leading a stress free life. So do stay physically active because that is one big stress buster. Okay, you have high level of stress, instead of holding on to that heavy luggage, unload it by doing something about it. Let it come out of your system in the form of physical activity. Engage in hobbies. A lot of things we can just express, and we can just feel more free in mind by engaging in hobbies. You love to sing, you love to dance, you like to paint. Okay, use all those expressive hobbies, or start something if you don't have, gardening, or volunteering somewhere, go for cycling, whatever you can do, your hobbies. Maintain healthy boundaries. You can do knitting, you can do stitching, explore different kinds if you are not having a hobby. Okay, maintain healthy boundaries with family members, with your colleagues, with outsiders. Don't put your head into everything. Okay, mind your own business, live a healthy, boundaried life. Okay, that doesn't mean you build up walls, but where you need to say no, you need to say no. Where you need to say yes, you need to say yes. Okay, so maintain healthy boundaries. And anything else that helps you de-stress. Okay, if it is just attending a program, or going and helping out someone, or just making healthy choices, go for a trip, or go for a walk, whatever helps you de-stress. Some I have a lot of patients or clients who come and say, sometimes just going and sitting in the temple, or spending time in the church helps them to de-stress. Whatever you want to do, cost free. There are a lot of things. If you're in Bangalore, there are big parks, Kaban parks, or places which you can explore. De-stress your body, your mind, relax and become calm, because if your stress level comes down, obviously your sleep pattern will have a good benefit. Okay. And when I say reduce stress, not all things can be reduced by hobbies and, going for a trip. Sometimes we need to talk. Okay, now whom do you talk to? I've talked to my bua, auntie, chachi, chacha. It's not working out. That means it's time to talk to the mental health professionals. Okay, talk to them. These are some of the names that you can remember: counseling psychologist, clinical psychologist, psychiatrist, or general physician. Sometimes you can begin from the fourth, or go up, or from the first. The counseling psychologist can refer you to a general physician, saying it's not a mental problem. It's probably you're having a gut problem. Okay, get your gut checked. Okay, it's related to your mental health. So talk to a mental health professional. Sometimes maybe you're having a, you're at the verge of divorce, or you're just come out of a breakup, or you just underwent a loss, or you faced a tragedy. You need to talk it out. You need to clear your mind. You need to release all those traumatic experiences you had. Talk it out to a mental health professional. Okay, so that's one way to de-stress. Okay. Now, seventh is maintaining a sleep hygiene. We all know what is hygiene, right? Right from our school days, we've been taught, stay, keep your socks clean, keep your shoes clean, comb your hair, wash your hair. It's hygiene. Now, what is sleep hygiene? Okay, sleep hygiene is, are you having healthy sleep habits? This is the checklist. Are you avoiding healthy fatty meals, soda and coffee before bed. You can put a tick. It's checklist for you to just analyze. You can all, tick whatever. How many ticks do you have? You can just check out of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Out of the 7, how many if you have all 7? 7 out of 7. Do you engage in physical exercises? Do you avoid using electronics 1 hour before sleeping? Is your room comfortable, dark, and quiet? Do you have a nighttime routine? Like, do you, wash your face, you apply some lotion, or, do some facial massage? Do you have a nighttime routine? Do you pray? Do you journal before sleep? Do you talk it out to a loved one? Do you have some nighttime routine? Do you de-stress and relax? Do you sleep and wake up at the same time every day? Okay. So this is going to be your sleep hygiene checklist, which you need to really, every at least once in a week, just do just do a self check. Am I headed in the right direction? It's only February 7th. You have the whole year ahead. Okay. So it's very, it's perfect time, I should say, to begin a good sleep hygiene. Okay. And these are some of the good, impactful sleep hygiene practices. Establish a nighttime routine. Okay, like you can, either do journaling, read some, religious books, or listen to some prayer, or, maintain some good, healthy nighttime routine. Get up and go to sleep at the same time. Create a healthy sleep environment. Okay. Turn off electronics an hour before bed. Avoid large fatty meals. Reduce stress. Exercise. Limit caffeine. So these are things you need to like repeatedly remind yourself. I'm going to engage in sleep hygiene. Okay, I'm going to practice good sleep hygiene from today onwards. Now, this is something which you can just connect to whatever you've been listening so far. Okay, so healthy eating, physical activity, and sleep hygiene. Okay, goes hand in hand. So it's called HEPAS. Okay, so this is the winning triad if you want to maintain both physical and mental health. Okay, so when you talk about healthy eating, the diet quality and quantity matters. Okay, just because you love biryani, overstuffing your stomach and abdomen with biryani as if tomorrow you're not going to get any food is unhealthy before you go to bed. Okay, food timing. Try to eat always at the same hours. One day 9 o'clock, one day 12 o'clock, one day 2 o'clock. What would your stomach do? They also have a rhythm, right? It can overproduce acidic production because you're not giving food on time. Okay, food environment. You have the habit of sitting alone and eating, watching Netflix? Why don't you sit with another human being, share it with your family and friends? It's healthy. Okay, it impacts our gut, it impacts our brain, it impacts our social life as well. Okay, keep in touch with doctors, go for a periodic health checkups. Okay, women, make sure your menstrual cycle, whatever you eat, your thyroid levels, your vitamin levels, everything is kept, maintained. Okay, men also, you need to maintain, all your vitamin supplements and whatever you need to do with regard to, checking your cholesterol levels, BP, or sugar levels. Keep in touch. Okay, maintain high adherence. If you have been prescribed a medication, please make sure you continue to take. For example, if you're pre-diabetic and you're advised to take something, please, take care of it. Okay, instead of letting it go out of control and then you have other additional supplements. Avoid unnecessary dietary supplements. Feedback your doctor about your doubts and concerns. Okay, so that's about healthy diet and keeping in touch with your doctors. Now, getting enough resting sleep, see, it goes hand in hand. Okay, sleep quality and sleep quantity matters, just like your diet quantity and diet quality. Good nap is better than a bad sleep. Okay, what is nap? Have you heard of cat nap? 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes. Have you heard of soldiers? They're always at the war front, but they do take naps even during the war, like 5 minutes nap. It's powerful. Okay, so you can have, you can inculcate good nap time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just rest your brain for some time, just take a good nap. Sleep timing, try to maintain sleep, same bedtime. Okay, sleep environment. Do anything change in the bedroom, even if you have to change the wall color, do something so that which will help you sleep. Okay, stay daily active. Physical activity, again, quality matters, quantity matters. Do things that you're allowed to do. Do not do things which you're not allowed to do. Okay, move your body every day. Okay, physical activity timing. Move, do not move your physical activity very close to your meal time. Like, let it have a small gap in between. Okay, do not exercise after meals. Have you heard that? So do not, let meals and exercise go very close to each other. Physical activity, once again, move around with your family, friends, say let's play badminton or let's play an indoor game, do some physical activity along with friends and family. That also is good for your sleep. Before you sleep, it relaxes your mind. Okay, this can prevent a lot of neuropsychiatric problems that can come related to sleep. Okay, so this is from the Stanford Medicine. They have given out this information that healthy eating plus physical activity plus sleep hygiene will keep our body and mind fit and healthy. Okay, so now I want you to all write down a personal promise to start a healthy sleep pattern to have a good mental health. Okay, now you all know what is healthy sleep pattern. Now you all know what is good mental health also. Now I want you to write a personal promise to yourself. What are you going to make changes from today? You can use the chat. Devapa, avoid sleep during phone during sleep time, less screen time, exercise. Very good. Going to bed at the same time every day. Very good. Amarpreet. Anas, avoiding phone before 1 hour of sleep. Others also please join. I'm sure it'll encourage, each other. I will not use electronic gadgets before sleep. That's a wonderful promise. All the best. Jatin. Sunana, avoid TV before sleep. Very good. Ravi Teja, early to sleep and rise early. Avoid blue light before sleep. Can we use eye mask to stimulate darkness? Yes, absolutely you can. Okay, if you live in a apartment where there are external lights coming into your through your windows, you can use eye mask. Okay, we'll try to sleep and wake up on time. Also limit screen before sleep. Very good. Could you suggest an instant sleeping hack? Okay, something that works in Indian households is a half glass of milk with a little haldi. You can try that. A warm cup of milk. Yes, that works wonders. Or you can explore some ingredient in the kitchen which works for you. Luckily, we don't have TV and computer at home. Very good. Healthy home. Yes, magnesium induces good sleep, but I would suggest search for naturally available, fruits and vegetables which has magnesium content rather than relying only on magnesium supplements. Okay. What is a good nap? How long should it be? It depends on what kind of nature of work you can take. 5 minutes nap, 10 minutes nap, 30 minutes nap. Depends on what works for you well. Okay, you have to like get into that habit. It won't happen in one day because you shouldn't fall into deep sleep. It's just a nap, the cat power nap that they say. It works wonders because it makes you feel restful also at the same time. Yeah, chamomile tea, yeah, that works for some of the people. You have to check whether it will work for you. How much gap should be kept between last caffeine intake and sleep time and also after waking up? Last caffeine up to 2 hours gap. Do not consume any caffeine products 2 hours, 2 to 3 hours before sleep. There are certain lotions and body wash available. Yes, it is good. You can try it out. Aditi Yadav, yes, you can try it. 2 hours. Does haldi amla tea help? Yeah, you can try. For some, haldi and tea works. Tea actually, can keep you awake, but haldi and milk is a good combination. I've heard. I've tried it myself. It works. Um,
Dr. Sherin, there are more questions in the chat. Let me just bring them up. So
all
this one
right.
from Latika, which says, how to get mental health checkup done?
Okay, you can visit the nearest, mental health center or a psychologist that is available in your area. You can just say, I want to do a routine mental health checkup. They will have assessments. They will, do some tests, and you will get your results.
Okay, thank you. There's another question which says, is brain fogging the cause of poor sleep patterns? How to come out of it?
Yes, brain fogging is one of the side effects of not having a lot of restful sleep and restful mind for quite a number of days. Okay, sometimes we say we I'm experiencing burnout. Okay, so one of the symptom of burnout is brain fogging. You're not able to think. You're not able to function. Okay, you feel like you're stuck. Okay, so it is one of the symptom. Yes.
Okay, and how to come out of it was the following
How to
one.
come, you have to check, where is the burnout coming from? Is it because of overload of work, or you're not able to contribute with your skills, or do you not have enough skills? Are you getting a lot of negative feedbacks from your team? What is it? Is it something personal that you're going through? Or are you not satisfied with the kind of career that you've chosen? It could be any of these reasons, but over time what happens is the burnout can give out these symptoms, and you may say and it will disturb your sleep when you're not happy with your work. It will disturb your sleep, it will keep you awake, and then remember the negative feedback loop I taught, it keeps going on and on. Okay,
Got it.
yes.
Moving on to the next one, which says, hi, Dr. Sherin, good evening. I'm maintaining work-life balance 888. Do I need to do the SAD test?
uh what is it? 888, what did you say before that?
Maintaining work-life balance.
Ah,
So
okay,
he's
so yeah,
getting
you
it.
can do the SAD test. Maybe your stress levels are high, or maybe if you have any anxiety symptoms, it's good to get a SAD test. There are different depression, anxiety, stress scale, which you can get in connect with one of your psychologists, and they will do the test for you.
All
Yes.
right. The next question is what to do when you're sleepy during office hours, even if you've had a complete 8 hours of sleep?
Okay, you need to check whether you're facing any other problems. Diabetes also has, symptoms of falling, feeling fatigue and sleepy, or maybe thyroid issues, or any other, any other disease that you might be facing. You might feel sleepy. Is it the type of food or the oil, or you need to change your oil, or the type of khana that you eat? You need to, explore everything before you come to a conclusion. And if you already made your check, self check, they meet a physician at the earliest. Maybe there's something else that you need to find out.
All
There-
right.
there's
There
an
was,
interesting question here which I don't want to avoid. High cortisol can disrupt sleep. Yes. Okay, the stress hormone is called cortisol. So if your stress hormone goes up, it will keep you awake because you're stressed about it. Okay, so then it disturbs your sleep, then you're fatigued, and then again it will cause more stress. Okay, so cortisol, high level of cortisol should be balanced with high level of happy hormones. So do your exercise, hobbies, that will balance your cortisol levels. Yes.
thank you. Ahmed is putting this. Is it necessary to sleep 8 to 9 hours straight or just finish in 9 hours total?
At a stretch, it's advisable to get 7 to 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Okay, but for some, if you cannot make it throughout the week, every day 7 hours, you can do a little bit of binge sleeping on weekends. Okay, so you make that you're getting at least 7 into 7. 7 into 7 is at least 50 hours of sleep per week you should get.
All
Okay.
right. He's also asked for a hack on how to sleep instantly based on your experience.
Okay, instantly sleep, just shut down the world. You can just shut down with earplugs or eye mask, and then think something positive, and you have to command your brain. I want to rest for some time. That's what soldiers do. They are in the war front, but they take cat naps. How do they do it? They command their brain. So it should be in your control rather than the stress that is externally controlling you. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
Very
so
interesting questions. Thank you for the questions. Yeah.
yeah, there's another one which says from Ahmed again, suggest a sleep pattern for 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. work shift.
3 p.m. to
12 a.m. work shift.
Okay, so you need to probably, as soon as you finish your shift in the night, you need to start sleeping and then wake up early and have a light breakfast, and then have a nice lunch, and then get on with your day. Okay, but no skipping meals. Usually, those who have this shift skip at least one meal out of the three, which is it'll disturb your sleep pattern again.
All
Okay,
right.
so eat light, stay light, not
Okay.
in the light, but yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so then Sunaina has a question. Is it normal to feel sleepy after meals?
Yes, it is because digestion is taking place. All the circulation is directed to our intestinal, digestive tract. So, that's why, based on where you are, eat light. Okay. If you're in the office, don't bring a big thali, that you have to eat for a shadi. Avoid such kind of eating practices. Okay. Eat something which will keep you awake, help your digestion, plus give you energy, enough energy for you to think through. So be like squirrels, carry nuts. They stay very active, very quick. Okay. Because they eat light. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
How does it disturb you when the shift switches every 2 months, every 2 or 3 months? Sorry.
Okay. So you need to keep a track of how things worked for you when you had the same shift last time. Okay. This is something which I advise, keep a track. Okay. When I had the shift last time, with a similar pattern, this worked for me. So, keep a track of it and repeat it. Okay. So it shouldn't like really disturb you. Okay. The same shift is coming. That means you did not keep a track of how things worked well for you. Okay. Avoid the things that did not work well for you when you tried that pattern. Okay. So do anything which will keep you stress free. Okay. With getting a lot of sleep.
All right. So there's another question which says how to be consistent. I'm sure they're asking about sleep, how to be consistent with your sleep.
Yes. Consistent, you can make a note of what are the things that work for you. For example, start with the diet. Okay. These are the diets that help me fall asleep. These things keep me awake. You would know, there are some beverages that keep you awake. Clean those things from your kitchen. Okay. And then, these are some conversations that keep me awake. Clean that out from your, social circle. These are some people who keep me awake. Keep away from such people. So consistency begins with making change. Okay, so first make a change. Okay, and then take a decision to make a change, and then be consistent with that.
Got it. Thank you so
Yes.
much. In everybody, any other questions you have, last takers?
I hope this session has really helped each one of you. I would love to hear, I am very happy to see all the promises that you've made, but also if you could give me a small feedback of how it's been helpful listening to today's session.
So we have thumbs up. We have a great session from Parth.
Okay, thank you, Parth.
Wonderful and insightful session.
Thank you, Ankit.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you all for joining today's session on sleep and mental health. We hope this discussion has provided you with valuable insights into the importance of sleep and how that impacts both body and mind. Remember, small changes in your daily routine can lead to a significant improvement in daily sleep and overall well being. Prioritize your sleep, establish healthy habits, take proactive steps towards a more restful and a healthier life. A heartfelt thank you to Dr. Sherin for leading this session and to you, Team Practo, for being our partners and for arranging this session. We appreciate your participation, everybody, and look forward to seeing you in our future webinars. Take care and sleep well.
My pleasure, and wish you all a wonderful start from today and a wonderful evening going ahead. Thank you so much.